Is competitiveness good for the common good? I believe it's essential. Without competition, we stagnate, and without champions, we crumble. But what if we have the wrong idea about competition? Instead of teaching people to compete against each other, we need to learn to compete with each other. There's a time and place where the most competitive people in the world do precisely this. It's called the Olympics. And unlike those zero-sum winner-loser games of other competitions, excellence, respect, and friendship are the powerful ideals that we Olympians hold ourselves to. I'm very fortunate that I got to be on the best team of teams, the 8 of Olympic rowing. Rowing is the only sport where each athlete must do the exact same work as everybody else. In the competition, every athlete takes the same number of strokes, perfectly in sync, until they cross the finish line as one. The margin of error in rowing is so fine that to take one stroke off can cost you 3.6 seconds in a 6-minute race. That's only 1%. But that 3.6 seconds is the difference between being in the race and completely out. I'd love to share an Olympic story with you about what it means to be a consummate teammate on a team like this. My first Olympics was in 2004, and we had an Olympic 8 that was destined to win. I was fortunate enough to be on that team, but as the alternate, aka spare. So nothing like being on the best team ever and not getting the medal. But that was an essential component of me learning what this competitive community could be. I had 2 options: to either be negative and egotistical and full of pride and anger that I wasn't in the boat, or choose to be the teammate that those 9 brothers of mine needed to ensure their success. I had my opportunity. One of the guys got sick. I promised I didn't poison him. But if I had chose to be the former negative teammate, getting into that boat could have affected the momentum they had going into this race. But because we had so much shared suffering together and they knew what I was capable of in that moment, I was able to step in and hold the spot and keep the speed and momentum going. As our teammate got healthy and jumped into the boat for the heat, they set an Olympic record that still stands today. 5 days later, they won a gold medal, the first for 40 years for the US. And as they came off the water, they rushed to me, embraced me, and said, "We couldn't have done this without you." Sometimes to be on a great team, someone good enough to win a gold medal doesn't make it to the line. And that was me. Would you like to know how we make communities so strong like this? First, we must really define our goals with our values. It's actually very easy to say, let's go win the Olympics. But there's lots of ways to go about that. And if you're not defined in the beginning, you get towards the end and it can get scrambled and confused and you lost that momentum. So we have to be defined. We're going to win the Olympics. We're going to set the world record. And we're going to create a bond that can never be broken. That's a defined goal with values. Next, we have to make sure that there's a high ethical and high performance standard, and they work together. Can you truly be the best in the world if you lie, cheat, or sleaze your way onto the team? No. And can you truly do something that's never been done before and create a legacy if it's easy? No. But the path has to be clear and transparent on how to get there and seem available to everybody within the community. We must curate our conflict so that everything we do shows that we're moving towards the result together. You have to build the speed of communication, where just grunts and looks get the point across. You have to build the resiliency through allowing each other to fail and build each other up so quitting doesn't feel like an option. You need to build the strength of the group together so they all feel that the work that's happening is making the entire group stronger. You put things together and you build that trust. High improving behaviors will always best a high performance mindset. When you function at the exponential curve where every little second matters and you improve for every fine percentage for both yourself and the team, you get exponential gains. We have to focus on strengthening the weakest link because in a competitive environment, nobody wants to be the weakest link. And as that weakest link gets stronger, it pushes the competition up the chain so the entire chain is now stronger. I wanted to make sure that my theories weren't just mine. So I decided to do a little qualitative research. I decided to interview some fellow Olympians and discover what they did to become so great at their sport. But I've always had a problem with one-on-one interviews. They're not a team. So I did what any good coach does. I recruited some talent. I found some of my teammates that I've had success with, and together we built a series of questions to take these Olympians on their hero's journey with no time limit and with a group of people that were vetted from a shared experience of excellence so they felt safe and they trusted us and they valued us. So they gave us these very intimate details. And what we found is that these characteristics existed in every story, especially those high improving behaviors. Their desire to be good for the betterment of their teammates was the through line that really tied it all together. I'd like to share with you one more Olympic story of how I had to apply these behaviors to my next Olympics because I wanted to go from the alternate to being in the boat. I had to change my behavior from trying to beat my teammates to make the team to enabling their greatness, to ensure they made the boat before me and they had a great performance because I was there to help them. I had to stop being pessimistic when it was hard and be optimistic. Because if you're going to be an Olympian or do something great or be part of a great community, then you're just on the path. So why make it a bad time? And then ultimately, because it's so difficult, and we're all from families, communities are tough. I had to make it fun. Because doing great things is fun. By doing that, I got to make the 08 team. I got to be in that 8. I got to be in that team in teams. And I want to show you what champions look like when faced with adversity. I knew that we had the ability to win because we were beating all the 2004's trainings times. And everything just had to go right. But remember, we live at that exponential curve where mistakes are exponential. We came off the line slow. Not only slow, but the slowest. There's 6 boats in the Olympic final, and we were 6 out of 6. Usually, because the 8 is so powerful and so fast, that's a death sentence. It means you're out the door. But we were champions. We were brothers. We did not quit. We did not stop rowing. We stayed together. We never gave up hope. And so when we got to the halfway mark, which is about 1,000 meters in rowing, our coxswain said a call. In 2, we go for the line. 1, time dilated. It froze to that singular moment in time, and I've never felt so alive until 2 other moments in life when my wife walked into that bar and the birth of 2 children. It was a force of nature. Electricity went through me, and I felt it was connected to the 8 other people from stern to bow. 2, I felt the collective breath of all of us truly becoming as one in that moment. Boom! We shot off. Went from the slowest boat to the fastest. We went from 6th to 5th to 4th to 3rd and neck with Great Britain, who was in 2nd, and the 2 of us were chasing down the Canadians who were in the lead. As we crossed this line, beep, 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 was the sound of the finish. I had no idea where we were. As I looked up at the scoreboard, I saw it was Canada 1, GB 2, and USA 3. We had done it. We had come from behind to bring this back to America. Am I happy with it? I'm getting there. But this means so much more than just a medal. Because remember, we were champions. And what this represents is our country, our community, our friends, our universities, our high schools, our parents, our friends. You never go to the Olympics for you, and you're never in the boat alone because everyone's behind you. So are you willing to be a champion? Step into the arena, fail and get yourself back up and challenge the adversities to rise stronger? And if not, who would you call on to be your champion? So again, I ask, is competition good for the community? Thank you.